You wake up, your phone is already in your hand. The algorithm knows what you want before you do. Your coffee arrives at your door. Your entertainment is infinite. Your thermostat adjusts itself. You never have to be cold, bored, hungry, or alone with your thoughts for more than 30 seconds. You are living in the most comfortable era in human history. So why do you feel so restless? Why does your chest tighten with anxiety over nothing? Why does every day blur into the next, leaving you exhausted by ease itself? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Comfort isn't making you happy, it's making you miserable. And the ancient philosophers saw this coming 2,000 years ago. We've been sold a lie. The lie says that if we just remove enough friction from our lives, if we just optimize enough, automate enough, make things easy enough, we'll finally be content. But look around. Look at yourself. We have more comfort than any generation before us, and we're more anxious, more depressed, more medicated, and more lost than ever. The Stoics understood something we've forgotten. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the ancient world, wrote in his private journal, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." He wasn't talking about motivational slogans. He was describing a fundamental truth about human nature. We don't grow in comfort, we grow in resistance. Think about your day. How many times do you reach for your phone not because you need to, but because you can't sit with yourself for 5 minutes? How many hours disappear into streams of content designed to keep you numb, not fulfilled? How often do you choose the easy path, the convenient option, the thing that requires nothing from you, and then wonder why you feel hollow? This isn't an accident. Your brain is wired to seek comfort and avoid pain. That made sense when comfort was scarce and danger was real, but now comfort is weaponized. Every app, every service, every product is engineered to remove friction, to give you what you want before you even want it. And your brain, still running ancient software, doesn't know the difference between a real threat and the mild discomfort of boredom. So it reaches, it scrolls, it numbs. Seneca warned about this in the 1st century. He wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." We live in an age of infinite more. More content, more convenience, more options, more comfort, and we are poorer for it. Because every time you choose comfort over effort, ease over challenge, distraction over presence, you're training yourself to be weak. Not physically weak, though that's often true too. Weak in attention, weak in discipline, weak in the ability to sit with discomfort and not collapse into the nearest dopamine hit. And weakness, the Stoics knew, breeds misery. Here's what's happening in your brain. Every time you get a notification, a like, a new episode, a delivered meal, your brain releases dopamine. That's the anticipation chemical. It feels good, but it's not satisfaction. It's craving. And the more you feed it, the more it demands. Studies show that constant dopamine stimulation actually lowers your baseline happiness. You become tolerant. What used to excite you now barely registers. So you need more, louder, faster, easier. This is why you can spend 3 hours on your phone and feel worse than when you started. You're not resting. You're not recharging. You're running on a hedonic treadmill, and the speed keeps increasing while you stay exactly where you are. Exhausted, restless, miserable. The ancient Stoics practiced something that sounds insane to modern ears: voluntary discomfort. Seneca would periodically sleep on a hard floor, eat simple food, and wear rough clothing. Not because he was poor, but because he was free. He wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" He was inoculating himself against fear, against dependence, against the tyranny of comfort. Because when you need comfort to function, You're not free, you're fragile. And fragility, in a world that doesn't care about your feelings, is suffering waiting to happen. Epictetus, who spent years as a slave before becoming one of history's greatest philosophers, put it even more bluntly. Difficulties are things that show a person what they are, not what they wish they were, not what they pretend to be online, what they actually are. And most of us, if we're honest, don't like what we see when things get hard. We collapse, we avoid, we reach for the comfort lever, and every time we do, we confirm to ourselves that we can't handle discomfort, that we need to be coddled, that we're weak. And that belief, more than any external circumstance, makes us miserable. So what do? How do we break this cycle? It starts with a shift in perspective. Stop seeing discomfort as the enemy. Start seeing it as information, as training, as the very thing that builds the resilience and strength that comfort has stolen from you. This doesn't mean you have to become some extreme ascetic or punish yourself. It means you start choosing the harder path sometimes, on purpose. You take the cold shower, you sit in silence for 10 minutes. You leave your phone in another room. You do the work that scares you. You have the conversation you've been avoiding. Not because it's fun, but because it's true. Because it's real. Because it makes you stronger. If you're finding value in this, if something here is resonating, consider joining this community. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment about one area where comfort has made you weaker. Let's figure this out together. This isn't about perfection. It's about awareness, about reclaiming our attention and our agency from systems designed to keep us passive. We're all navigating this together, trying to remember what the ancients knew and what we've forgotten. Here's a practical framework rooted in Stoic wisdom. First, practice attention discipline. Your attention is your life. Where it goes, you go. If it's scattered across a dozen apps, your life is scattered. Choose one thing each day that requires sustained focus and protect it fiercely. No phone, no interruptions, just you and the task. This is hard. That's the point. Second, embrace voluntary discomfort. Once a day, do something uncomfortable on purpose. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Skip the snooze button, take the stairs, sit with your anxiety instead of medicating it with content. You're not punishing yourself, you're training yourself. You're proving to your nervous system that discomfort won't kill you, that you're capable, that you're not as fragile as your habits suggest. Third, practice negative visualization. This is a core Stoic exercise. Spend a few minutes imagining losing the things you take for granted. Your phone, your home, your health, your loved ones. Not to be morbid, but to wake up, to feel gratitude, to realize that everything you have is temporary and precious. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning that everyone he'd meet that day would eventually die, including himself. This didn't make him depressed. It made him present. It made him kind. It made him appreciate what he had while he had it. When you realize that comfort is not guaranteed, you stop taking it for granted. And paradoxically, you stop needing it so desperately. Fourth, reframe your relationship with effort. We've been conditioned to see effort as a cost, something to minimize. But effort is meaning. It's engagement. It's proof that you're alive and participating in your life rather than passively consuming it. When you choose effort over ease, you're choosing to be the author of your experience rather than a spectator. You're choosing growth over stagnation, strength over fragility. This is what the Stoics meant by living according to nature, not your conditioned nature, which craves comfort and avoids pain. Your true nature, which is capable of far more than you've allowed yourself to believe. Fifth, Cultivate presence. Most of your misery comes from being mentally absent from your actual life. You're either ruminating about the past or anxious about the future. And meanwhile, the only moment you actually have this one is slipping by unnoticed. The Stoics were obsessed with the present moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present, not because the future doesn't matter, but because the present is the only place where you have any power." When you're fully here, discomfort becomes manageable. It's only when you project it into an imagined future, when you tell yourself stories about how unbearable it will be, that it becomes overwhelming. Stay here, breathe, notice. This moment, right now, is almost always okay. The truth is, you're stronger than you think, but you'll never know it if you keep choosing comfort. You'll never discover what you're capable of if you keep taking the path of least resistance. The ancient philosophers didn't write their wisdom from places of ease. Marcus Aurelius wrote meditations during brutal military campaigns. Epictetus wrote from the perspective of someone who had lost everything, including his freedom. Seneca wrote knowing he might be executed at any moment, which eventually he was. They knew suffering, they knew discomfort, and they found peace not by avoiding it, but by meeting it with courage and clarity. They understood that the goal isn't to eliminate discomfort, it's to become the kind of person who can face it without falling apart. We've built a world that promises happiness through comfort, but delivers anxiety through dependence. Every convenience comes with a hidden cost. Every shortcut makes you a little weaker. Every algorithm that thinks for you makes you a little less capable of thinking for yourself. And the result is a generation that has everything and feels nothing. That's connected to everyone and lonely. That's entertained constantly and bored to death. This isn't sustainable. And deep down, you know it. That restlessness you feel isn't a problem to be solved with another app or another purchase or another distraction. It's a signal. It's your soul telling you that you're capable of more, that you're built for challenge. That comfort, for all its appeal, is slowly suffocating you. So here's the invitation. Not to abandon comfort entirely, but to stop worshipping it. To stop organizing your entire life around avoiding discomfort. To start seeing the hard things as opportunities rather than obstacles. To remember what the Stoics knew, that strength, resilience, and genuine peace come not from having an easy life, but from becoming someone who can handle a difficult one. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Discomfort isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. And it's trying to show you who you really are beneath all the comfort and convenience and carefully curated ease. The question is, are you brave enough to pay attention?